In a world full of terrifying hauntings, demons, and poltergeists, what happens when the spirit in your apartment is interested in scaring you stiff, but in a good way?
Hey-yo! Is that a proton pack in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? It's a tale as old as time. Boy meets girl. Girl is a 127-year-old ghost from Ellis Island era. Boy and ghost decide to start a family.
Welcome back to Beer Me That Movie. Today is a big day. Not only are we tackling the internet's most burning question, how do a human and a ghost create a baby? But this is also our 40th feature film.
That's right. We are officially over the hill and closing in on the end of this magical adventure fast. Only 10 more feature episodes to go.
Yes. When we started Beer Me That Movie, we both agreed that we could probably squeeze 50 entertaining movie ideas out of our heads before our collective creative well ran dry.
Yeah, and the bottom of that well is rapidly approaching. Some may say it dried up long ago, but those people are lame. And if you're here, we'll assume you're not one of those people and you rock.
As we enter the final act of this experiment in beer and movie mashups, we'd like to thank you again for tagging along this far. We hope that, like all good final acts, the best is yet to come.
And that starts tonight. So grab your Ouija boards and your baby bottles. This week's feature is inspired by a beer made by Wills and checked in by our buddy Jim. This is Baby Ghost.
Ghost.
He was a starving artist out of ideas. She was a ghost who waited 127 years for true love. Together, they're about to prove that romance transcends the mortal coil, and that raising a toddler is hard, especially when they can walk through walls. This Arbor Day, discover that love never dies in Baby Ghost.
That was perfect. A few questions we're going to try and answer for this feature film are: how exactly does a struggling artist procreate with an ethereal spirit? Hopefully there's animations for that.
Oh, boy.
What happens when your newborn can literally walk through walls?
Interesting. And before we jump in, remember, beermethatmovie.com is not a ghost. It's alive. Go check it out. Vote on your favorite beers that didn't become features. They're hiding in the vault. We'll do something with that again someday. See past episodes. Check out other fun things that exist on beermethatmovie.com. Yeah, check it out if you haven't yet. There's a lot there. Maybe some things that'll be happy surprises. So check it out.
True. You can even write in your own movie
right.
ideas in the vault.
Yes. Yeah. Share other ideas, other beers, other movie ideas. Get it all in there over at beermethatmovie.com.
So, Baby Ghost, Act 1. We're going to start out...
Baby Ghost. So it's almost a 50s racer movie, but John saved it and said, no.
Let's answer the question.
Let's address the ghost in the room, right?
Is it time to stop being afraid of ghosts and start being turned on by ghosts?
Maybe. How about it? We're due for a fun revolution.
Lord knows there's enough Bumbles and Hinges out there. There could be hookups just waiting for you under your bed.
That's right. You don't have to go outside. There could be something hiding in an old shoe that wants to do something with you. A haunted creature. Who knows? Maybe we'll find out tonight.
There's a lot of Reddit now leaving this episode and checking their closet.
Check those old shoes. I think one fell over by itself.
Turn off the lights. That's when they come out.
Even that black light. Oh my God. What is this stuff all over the walls?
We just went from Reddit to 4chan.
Hello.
Okay, so Act 1, we're going to call it The Haunted Canvas. Our protagonist is Jim,
Yes.
our friend that checked this beer in.
Thanks, Jim.
Jim, Haunted Canvas. We painted him a little bit in the Fast Five. He's he's a struggling artist. Like,
Yes.
Harrison, give me a quick kind of synopsis of Jim. I know he's a struggling artist, but like, how bad is it? How down on his luck is he? He's in New York City, so
Yes.
in my opinion, he's rich.
That's where you'd be wrong, John. But you're right in the real world. But somehow, like all movies that are set in New York City, Jim is super poor, but also has a beautiful apartment with tons of natural light. It's like 5,000 square feet somehow. It's got giant windows. We won't explain that. That's harder to figure out than ghosts having babies. But yeah, so Jim is, we said in the Fast Five, struggling artist, and I think I'm just like painter, like that kind of artist.
Okay, like an artist from the movies.
An artist, yes. When you think
paint
artist,
on his hands.
That's right.
Easels and canvases littering up his apartment.
Yes, and he is struggling. I'm seeing like a pile of kind of eviction notices or rent overdue notices that he's starting to paint on as well, all across his floor. And every day he brushes his teeth in the shower and then recaptures the shower water to put in the back of the toilet so he can flush the toilet. He can only poop once a day.
So he's not like a starving artist, but also works as a barista. He's just straight up artist.
No. He's slumming it. He's addicted to painting. He loves painting. Clearly it's his calling. So he's figured out, arguably the hardest thing you had to figure out is person living on this planet. Why am I here? He's just failed at everything else. He doesn't have enough money. He can't buy food. He can barely afford water. His air conditioning is just opening one window on one side of the apartment and then another one on the other. When it snows, it's just as cold inside as it is outside. So Jim is truly slumming it, but he's trying to find his muse, trying to find something that he can do that'll change the world. And he's just kind of most days staring at a blank canvas and nothing is coming. He's stuck. He's got painter's block or whatever.
He's got PB.
A little case of the PB.
I'm imagining his apartment has some really nice looking art on the walls that he's painted or leaned up against the walls.
Yes.
Like I'm envisioning the opening scene, seeing some talent, maybe a little bit eccentric, but talent.
Sure.
And he's like going out to like the art stores, whatever they
Whatever
are,
they're
like
called, right?
Exhibition places where you can.
Oh, there you go.
And they're all just like, nah, bro, you're just way too edgy for us. Like no one wants to buy this.
Sure.
We're looking for hotel art.
Could be right. Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. It's right. He's right. He's someone who's on the edge, but the world just wants a picture of a dog in a field or a woman in a boat.
Do you have any boat sailing?
People like that. People
ambiguous
like things.
Boats on the water.
Right. There's a lot of red in this. People don't like red. Red's scary to people. This is a Hilton. We can't have anything red and scary in here at all. It's to be water lilies or a train. Maybe we'll do train. We'll do train at night. That's as risky as we're willing to get. And so Jim hates everything, hates people, which is understandable. And he like a true artist, he's not going to cave and paint a nice train so he can sell somebody to the Hilton. He feels like he's here for something more than that. What he doesn't know, but that's part of the mystery, part of the journey, and so we're kind of meeting him there. I like your point of there's lots of beautiful paintings around his apartment that clearly he's made, maybe even like old newspaper clippings of like local boy Jimbo wins another contest or full ride to Julie whatever the painting art school.
It's blurred out. That part isn't shown
exactly
in the video.
Right. It's the future of art. This man, like, a dust-covered, New Yorker article from years ago. And you're right. So maybe he was in the limelight and big things were expected. And all Jim has is a blank canvas to show for it. He can't force art. So, but Jim kind of needs to because he needs a place to live. He's washing his teeth with toilet water. Oh gosh.
So I think we don't have to expand on this, but I'm envisioning like maybe he thinks about getting a roommate. And
sure.
Who raise your hand if you want a roommate.
Right.
Okay,
exactly. Nobody. And then we could even have a fun montage of that. If he gets about 9 and they leave as quick as they come because they can't stand his crazy hours or he's playing aggressive avant-garde
He is the
jazz.
Bad roommate.
Right. He's the bad roommate and he's already
3
in
the
there.
morning and I felt the Zydeco.
Exactly.
I have to go.
Exactly right. I'm in tech sales. I need to be at the office at 5 a.m. Yes, when you're going to bed. This isn't working. So he's right.
I took your Adderall and crushed it into this painting. It's mixed media now.
Yeah, so Jim is a little bit of a rough roommate so far. Because again, he's kind of driven mad by his passions, which we get it. I get it. I understand it. We all understand.
And as we get to see Jim kind of not see and understand the situation that Jim's in, he's unwilling to sell his soul and paint a train.
Right.
He's unable to live with a roommate.
Yep.
And the time's getting near with these eviction notices.
Yeah.
So we kind of see this man painted into a corner.
Absolutely.
And I think early on I want to reveal, like, how does it, tell me how it happens. Like, how do we get our first scene that it's not just Jim in this apartment?
Yep. I think he's deep into a bag of Franzia one night.
Took it right out of the box.
That's right. Out of the box he's lit on fire because he thought it might inspire
For
him.
warmth.
And then for warmth. That's right. He wanted some tea, so he lit his box of Franzia on fire to also make some tea. Some uppers and some downers
I
here.
need some tea and some blush.
And so as time went on, eating last week's pizza crust for dinner and having some bag of wine and getting real cranked up. And I think he's, he's frustrated. We know this. And in kind of the throes of passions and freaking out a bit, he's stomping around and throwing paint at the canvas and just having an episode, having a good freak out, which is okay to do every once in a while.
Sometimes a breakdown is a breakthrough.
There you go. Well said, John. And he literally does. I think he takes a paint can, it chucks it at the canvas, it misses and breaks through the wall right behind it. Big drywall cracks down.
Okay.
And that stops him for a minute. The record skips or the Zydeco stops.
The music cuts.
Yes, exactly. And he peeks around his canvas, sees the damage. Oh my God. Well, I already can't afford the place, but I definitely can't afford to also fix it. Maybe things are going to get worse for him. And he walks forward and realizes, well, it's not just a drywall with a wall behind it. It's a room he didn't know about that had clearly been walled up. And
Bonus room.
That's right. So maybe he's like, I could have two roommates. Maybe this is the way that I make. There's opportunity here.
They both pay rent and I don't.
Figured it out. Jim, you're a genius. See, what were you worried about? But as he explores a little further, he peeks his head in and maybe rips some more of the drywall off because he's, again, half a bag deep of Franzia, so he's not thinking about consequences. And peeks in there, and he's surprised to see it's almost like an exhibit in a museum, a time capsule. This wall maybe went up, it looks like 100 years ago, and what's behind it was almost perfectly preserved. And he's seeing kind of, maybe a small bed, some things, old black and white pictures covered in dust. Clearly some like women's clothes, women's boots, and then over in the corner, an ancient canvas with dried up paint under it, dried up brushes, and a couple of newspaper clippings. And so he's seeing like, oh my gosh, as he pieces two and two together, it looks like, long ago, because this stuff is, turn of the century, the other century, the older century.
Lead paint.
Clothes. Right, there you go. That someone used to live here. It looks like a woman based on the clothes. And they were an artist as well. And so it kind of gives him pause. And, he notices maybe the non-obvious things, that it was like a single bed and they have a single dish and a single cup or whatever. And he was like, he's like, oh my God, here I am trapped in my own mind, ready to die alone. And maybe Jim says something like, to this room, you probably died here poor and alone too. And it deflates him a bit instantly. He goes from passionate and on the top of this mountain ready to tear the world down to realizing maybe this person did the same thing as me and then didn't get him anywhere. And what am I doing? And just kind of sullenly walks away like Charlie Brown with his head down.
I think that's such an awesome line to show, like, one, it's a spin. Like, this is the scene that we discover is haunted and something creepy happens or the music jumps.
Yes.
But in Jim's story, it's, you probably died here poor and alone too. And it's like he gives up, but it's also empathy.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I think as Jim walks away, kind of now put the bag of Franzia under his arm to his bed, we see, the ghost emerge from the room for the first time. This room that's just been uncovered out of an old boot or something, or maybe through the canvas, because it was hiding in the corner.
And are we going to CGI this, or are we going to get a real ghost to play?
If we can find a real ghost, if you're out there and you're looking for work as a ghost, which I'm sure you are, let us know. But probably CGI it or something.
I say real ghost.
Fine, let's find a real
full
ghost.
On real ghost to play the part. I don't know how the filmography works with them. Maybe we have to sprinkle a little flour on them or something to get them to show up.
That'll be a heck of a thing to figure out.
But I'm envisioning like this is not so much on. She's not like scantily clad and lustily breathing. But this isn't. We see the ghost, which is atypical in a scary movie.
Right.
And the ghost is objectively attractive.
Oh, yeah. Peak Michelle Pfeiffer, something
beautiful.
like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, beautiful, flowy, glowy lady emerges from this canvas. Clearly been listening to Jim's freak out. And maybe he's been too scared to haunt the apartment because he's just listening to aggressive jazz and throwing things around all day.
This
guy's haunting my apartment. Been here 127 years. It's been mostly just people bickering every once in a while. But this guy's, I can't too much. But she senses something kindred to him. And right, I like your point. It's not, this ghost story is not going to be like The Nun where there's jump scares and there's a creepy lady that looks like a fullback standing in the hallway ready to take you down. Eleanor that's her name, right?
Eleanor.
The ghost?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I like that name.
All right. So Eleanor is just floating there staring at Jim longingly, like, my gosh, this wild guy who I was too afraid to even haunt a little bit, couldn't move a chair, couldn't flip over a teacup. Maybe he's not such a, his bark's worse than his bite. He's clearly going through something that I went through as well when I was an artist. And we kind of learned through some exposition that she, died 127 years before. Maybe it was, I think we said in the Fast Five, maybe that she was like waiting to get married, but died before that could happen. So she did die alone. She died.
Yeah, death was easy back then.
Right. Death, exactly right. Death happened. You sneeze too hard, you died. Anything could kill you. Everything could kill you. The air.
The day
could
before
kill you.
a wedding, someone cracked fresh black pepper out in the alley.
That's right. That
was it. It took out 3 to-be brides that day.
Or maybe it was a tragic looming accident or a cotton gin accident. Yeah. The women yearned for the cotton gin 127 years ago. Take me to the gin. Which is what they said when I was in college was a different gin. But 127 years ago, a lot of horribly made mechanical things. She could have fallen down a dumbwaiter shaft. Anyway, maybe we'll cover that. Maybe we won't. But the point is she's dead. She's sad. She's been alone for 120 plus years. And now for the first time sees Jim. And I'm imagining the scene is him kind of passing out drunk on his bag of Franzia and her kind of standing there hovering, watching him, maybe reaching out to touch him, but then scared and doesn't. And Jim turns over, sensing something, and then passes out and she floats away and he never sees her. But now we know.
It paints a picture there of like a more of a connection.
Absolutely.
Instead of the typical, like you keep saying this, you get it, okay? But like it's not a typical haunting,
right? And
I think that's a good opportunity to show that it's more like you can. She doesn't have. It doesn't have to be said, but you can see and understand that this is her feeling a connection with him. Maybe she has unfinished business. Maybe she's.
I think that's it.
Just a nice person. Ghost can be nice too.
That's right. Ghost can be nice.
If you're thinking about applying for this role, please be a nice
please
ghost.
Don't be a scary ghost. Please be a nice ghost.
Yeah.
But I think she has that very relatable feeling of like, I died with unfinished business. I died as an artist that was almost on the way up and that was taken from me. I see the same in this Jim guy. I can write the wrongs that happened to me. I can write them through him or something like that, which sometimes can be a bad blinding motivation. And sometimes
they call it mothering or smothering.
Right. Exactly. Right. A fine line.
What are some of the things that we can see in this movie that she might do to kind of maybe intervene a little bit?
Yep. I think, and it could start, and it has to be kind of subtle, but also because she's a ghost and she's decided, I don't need to give this guy a heart attack. I probably need to start slowly here. But also let's not waste any time. I can see these eviction notices too. If this guy's going to do anything, the time is now, and we got to get moving. So, I mean, it could be just, it's like funny stuff, kind of a montage of him waking up the next day and he grabs his head because he's drank a bag of Franzia, and he turns to his bedside table and there's 2 Advil and a glass of water sitting there, which is enough for him to be like, did I do that last night? I guess I did.
I take care of myself.
Right, exactly. Takes a gulp. But it was Eleanor. And then we see, some fun montage of, hey, maybe he's got like some breakfast out that's already being cooked. And he's like, God, did I sleepwalk and start making myself some eggs? But she's organizing brushes and dishes and the laundry's done. And but you got to be careful. So Jim is like, am I losing my mind? Do I have schizophrenia?
I've developed a disorder. I'm a real artist now. Like maybe it's like I almost want to envision it like the apartment's just subtly more cleaned up, and if we do it in a montage, and it almost looks like Jim after that night has started to get his life back together.
Exactly right.
He might even feel that.
Yes.
But we might want to be like, wait, maybe that was Eleanor that just tidied up a little bit, or
yes, exactly.
Like picked his paints up off the floor or something like that.
Yeah, those things. And him being a blinding drunk at night is helpful because he can forget half the stuff he maybe did, and that gives Eleanor time to tidy up and try to create a space that's a little more conducive to working as opposed to just self-imploding. So, which Jim can do by himself. And I'm imagining to kind of kick this story into gear a little bit. One of the things during kind of Eleanor's routine remotivating of Jim, she does something she doesn't do a lot because it's risky as a ghost. She like pops her head out of the door of their apartment to grab his mail because mail's important. And again,
especially back then,
a lot of eviction notices, right? But flies her head out into the hallway, just expecting to grab some mail. But I want her to meet someone, a nefarious fellow, perhaps Jim's nemesis, who's up to no good, John. I have an idea for him, but as always, we got to give him a name, and John's the name guy 99% of the time.
I know.
So who's the foil?
I know who you're talking about. She meets the roommate, not roommate, the hallmate, neighbor,
the
apartment neighbor.
Could be, yeah.
2 doors down, at the mailbox, she sees a Lagostani immigrant.
Of course.
In New York City.
Could be good, could be bad. We don't know.
We know.
You're right,
because we've seen him in the film before on ads and stuff. The big sort of corporate artist lives in this building as well.
Okay.
And in real life, he's an asshole, but in this movie, his name is Amish Kapoor.
Amish Kapoor.
Amish Kapoor is his name.
Sounds familiar, but also not. Okay, Amish Kapoor. Got it. So we've got Amish Kapoor. So what I'm seeing Amish doing is kind of as Eleanor pops her ghost head out of the door, thinking she's just going to grab the mail that's laying on the welcome mat there. Amish is out there going through Jim's mail. And we have this funny moment of him with Jim's mail in his hand, seeing a ghost. He screams, Eleanor screams. She looks down, though, sees he's got Jim's mail, and grabs it somehow, temporally, whatever ghost. We've seen ghosts can move chairs, can touch books.
Yeah,
they can grab stuff.
She uses her
ghost ability.
The ghosts have some abilities they can use a few times per week.
Yeah, right.
This is one where she's like tactile field power.
Uses her touch meter, right? It goes down a little bit, but she needs it to grab what is clearly not Amish's and Jim's mail and pulls it back inside. And Amish just runs down the hall. He's freaked out, shaking, confused.
Really scared.
Not sure
There's a wet pile
absolutely
on the carpet from where he was. He pees all over. His scream sounds more scared and little girly than even Eleanor's does. He he moves his head and a gigantic zit on his face. You can see there because he's such an evil person.
That's
and
right.
an asshole.
Doesn't know how to bathe.
Yeah,
That's
yes.
right. That's right. A real stinker inside and out. And so Eleanor shoots back into the office and is kind of shaken from, or the apartment rather, shaken as well from the whole experience, but she doesn't have much to worry about. She's a ghost. You can't do anything too bad to her. But still, not great that maybe someone in the building saw her after 127 years of being well hidden. But what she's more curious about is, why was this guy going through Jim's mail? Who is he? Maybe she's also out the window, like seeing his face on a billboard or whatever, the Amish character, and sees that maybe someone spray painted, like, you know, a big goofy glasses and buck teeth on him. So she's getting the impression that he's
a dink.
Right.
It just says.
There you go. Perfect. Sees that he's not great. Maybe gets the vibe. But more importantly, what was this letter? And so she opens it up again, using the touch meter a little bit, using her touch strength, and sees that Jim has been invited, John, to compete in a contest for book faces, as you may remember from Giggle Water, one of the large tech companies in the Beer Man That Movie universe. Book Faces headquarters, they're having a competition for their mural in their headquarters. They want an artist to paint it. Jim's been invited to this very exclusive competition, and the winner receives $100,000. But Eleanor also notices that this is, like, it says it right there in the letter, of like the final chance to sign up, and it makes it sound like Jim's reached out to a bunch. And Eleanor's like, oh my gosh, this Amish character must have been stealing Jim's mail. My God, this is his last chance. I can't do anything about it. I'm going to leave it out on the kitchen table, though, and keep throwing it in front of Jim until he calls, because he has until tonight to register for this. He needs this money. This could entirely change his life. This is it. It's like, I showed myself at the perfect time to save Jim. Now he's got to do it. So she puts it out on the table. This invitation for him to win this $100,000 if he's chosen to paint the mural. And so, yeah, so that's the scene for what comes next, for Jim to see it, we hope. And maybe it is a funny montage of like him walking right past it, put his coffee cup on it, and she got to sneak it out of the coffee cup and like put it over in the bathroom when he's brushing his teeth with his toilet
Recycled water. She's like, you exactly get the idea that Jim is not meant to see this invitation. He keeps walking past it.
Right.
And then as he finally sits down on the couch, it falls down next to him.
Say, right. She throws it at him and hits
eviction
him in the head.
notice.
Right. There, yeah. He probably assumes every piece of mail.
Don't look at mail.
Horrible news, right? He's burying his head.
He opens it up, and that's when I think that's the first time we see a little spark in Jim.
Ah, yes.
Like maybe even it's like one of the people that went to art school is the corporate art commissioner for Bookface. And she's like, Jim, I'd really love to give you a chance. I'd really love to see you here. Please respond. We kept reaching out.
Yep.
And Jim immediately, like, we see this spark. He gets up, the Franzia wine bag flops onto the ground. We see that in a nice close-up shot. And the door shuts, and we see Jim walking into the art store, the paint and art store, which of course he lives in New York City. They're on every block.
They're on every corner next to 5 Starbucks. Yes, exactly. I love that. So okay, cool. So he's out of the apartment, and maybe this will be fun too, because this happens in a lot of movies where, especially in like fish out of water movies, which this is kind of what Eleanor's story is here, where she's been hiding in a closet essentially, and
ghost out of closet.
The ghost out of closet. She's out, so she's really taking it to the next level. Maybe she kind of, like, we'll call it piggybacking with Jim to the store.
Ghost skill.
There you go. They can do that. It's another meter that she has to use a little bit of ghost.
Can't do it all the time.
Right,
but you get a certain allotment every week.
She can do it. So she's piggybacking, kind of following Jim mostly invisibly through the streets, because she's invested now, and she kind of also feels like Jim is essentially a human golden retriever who he may be setting out to go to the paint store, but there are a lot of bars, a lot of coffee shops in between here and there. Let's not lose Jim. Let's keep Jim on the path. Let's get this done, or we're going to lose his apartment, and who knows what'll happen next to poor Eleanor if they do. So they're together in this this paint shop, and I think
actually I like the idea of her like walking along with him just to try. She's been doing good guiding him. Maybe it's given her like she feels some purpose again.
Okay.
And when they get to the paint store, they see the most disgusting, hideous, like grotesque looking creature of a barely human being.
Oh my.
They see Amish Kapoor.
Kapoor.
Whoops. Don't Google Anish Kapoor. That's a different person.
It has nothing to do with anything.
They see him walking out, and he's just got boxes like in a shopping spree, like boxes stacked. He's got paints on paints on paints.
This guy.
And they see him walking out, and Jim knows who he is. He's the soulless corporate art prick that ruined art.
Yes. Painting endless trains and endless
nothing but trains. He's really proud of how black his black is in his paintings. And everyone else thinks he's a shill. He's a total sellout douchebag.
Yep.
And Jim sees him, and he's maybe a little bit awestruck, like, wow, that's Amish Kapoor, the rich artist who's a total dick.
Right, and who beats me in every competition. A lot of the ones I don't even find out till they're over. Right, I like that. So yeah, so you get that feeling that Jim doesn't see himself in the same league, and Amish is, as you said, just kind of trying to act like his poop don't stink, which it does. He stinks. And they square off a little bit, and maybe Amish even engages. Let's have him engage Jim a bit of kind of like, see, you're finally dusted off. Does he have a voice? Does Amish have a voice? Oh, I see you.
I think he'd be a little British.
Yep.
Hey, you should have just given up, oh Jim. You'll never beat me. Just total. I don't know if I could.
Yeah,
I wish I could come up with more. You'll never beat Amish Kapoor. I'm the best artist in the world, says I.
Perfect. That's exactly what I imagined him sounding like. John nailed it again. And so he's attacking Jim verbally. And Jim feels horrible. His little light has kind of gone down a bit, but then maybe like Eleanor kind of like pushes him forward a little bit, then bumps Amish back a step, and Jim's like, oh God, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. And maybe it shocks Amish that Jim's maybe trying to start some business, but he walks away. Amish is like, oh, I'm
threatening litigation for sure. For sure, threatening litigation.
That's right. But it clears Amish out of there, so we think, and then Jim and Elle are going to the store, and they're gathering their things, and perhaps, but we also, Amish just saw what he thinks is maybe a ghost or some kind of something fly out of Jim's apartment, like that day or the day before, when he was trying to steal Jim's mail. So maybe he hovers back a little bit, Amish does, looking to see what he's doing, and perhaps through the window in the back of the store where Jim is, thinks he sees a woman with Jim kind of standing behind him, and as Jim like reaches for the chartreuse, sees her hand guide him to some
different color, much like chartreuse, but different.
Chartreuse light. And grabs that and puts it in his cart, and so on. And Amish is like, what is happening? Like, what's going on? This guy had some crazy lady come out of his door. Now she's kind of floating behind him in this store. Like, what gives here? Does he find some assistant, some kind of something that's going to give him an edge? So he's starting to see Jim as he always has seen Jim as a threat. He knows how good Jim is. Up until now, he's just been successful at kind of burying him.
The best artists do good. The worst ones just keep everyone down. And
that's right.
Amish is the best worst artist in the world.
Yeah, but he's also no fool. It takes a lot of sneakiness to stay at the top when you do it by cheating other talented people, right? Out of jobs, painting trains and boats and lakes all day. So seeing the woman's head fly out of the apartment, and then the same woman, it looks like, behind Jim in the store is enough for him to start digging around, I think, to see what do we got going on here.
And I think Act 1 ends there with Jim heading back out of the art supply store, shaking hands with the old man that runs the store. Like, thanks for going to the back and getting me. So glad to see
you a good Jim. Glad you're painting.
He's a man of the people. He's a man of the people.
That's right.
And he's walking back, and then as we fade to Act 2, we see Amish in his crippled little slow walk, hobbling on his round bottom feet, trying to be trying to keep up with Jim stealthily because he's such a non-human dirtbag.
Creepy, hunched over. I like it. I like that because he wants to get to the bottom, whatever this is. He can't have Jim getting an edge. All right, great. That's the end of Act 1.
So Act 1, didn't know I was going to go that hard on a Lagostani painter, but
we did.
Thank you, Harrison. Thanks for your support, everyone. He's going to be part of Act 2, Love Never Dies.
No, of course.
So let's start Act 2 off. We get a good picture in Act 1. Who's Jim? What's his background? What's he suffering from? We got a sort of a villain in here, one of the worst villains we've ever written.
It sounds like
history. Real life couldn't do him. Well, they try to do him worse, depending on
what you want to believe.
Anyways, Google him.
You didn't hear it from us.
So we'll start out with Act 2 with, I think it should be, we saw Amish Kaplur following him. So I want Act 2 to begin with like Amish is hatching a scheme of some sort. We see he's been interfering. He's not a better artist than Jim. He's just a better study of Sun Tzu's Art of War.
There we go. Exactly. He's studying all the wrong things, all the creepy stuff, to get an unethical edge. And I think you can jump right in with Amish doing research on like, all right, well, let's start with what we know. Let's go to the building, Jim's building, his apartment. Like, what can I learn about maybe what I'm seeing? And indeed, he does. He stumbles upon those old news articles and learns through some exposition to the audience. Eleanor died there. It was 127 years ago. Before she died, though, her life was much like Jim. She was a talented artist on the rise, and had a promising life in front of her before the tragic, looming accident, whatever happened.
I like the loom. It wasn't a microwave. They didn't have them back then.
Absolutely not. No,
definitely it was a loom.
She could have just fallen in a vat of what became everyone's food. Gruel death, a cruel gruel death. Maybe a loom is better. So okay, less gross. Now, we don't need to poor Eleanor having me fed to a bunch of kids who are working in a factory. Okay, so that's not what happened.
It was sold to them at cost.
As was the tradition. Okay. Biggest takeaway though is that Amish is now fearful, like even more so. Like not only is this perhaps he's seen a ghost, which is wild. It would break his mind if he wasn't such a self-centered D-bag who's really just focused on I got to win this competition. So even the news that ghosts are real isn't slowing this guy down.
Totally overshot.
So self-centered. He zeroes right in on Eleanor was an artist. Oh my gosh, she could help Jim. I can't prove that ghosts exist to anyone though, so I just got to take her out. And he jumps right to that solution. And I'm seeing him hire someone, a ghost hunter, John, who should have some kind of fun backstory. But Amish's plan is to take Eleanor out and hoping that like, great, she's gone, Jim's devastated, that his little ghost assistant is out of his life and I'm back on top. But who's this ghost hunter that he should hire? Where can we pull a ghost hunter from in the that movie universe?
When you're looking for a ghost hunter, typically you either go to your religion or you go to, in this movie, Bitbok, which is a social media app. The Amish hates because everyone says bad things about him on there.
Sure.
But he knows that's where he finds the ghost hunter, and he finds a relatively famous one,
Ooh.
Dutch Vander Bruten.
Dutch Vander Bruten. The best names.
Dutch Vander Bruten. It made his claim to fame working for the SIA, the Psi agency, which Harrison remembers from.
That's right, Dump Truck of Doom.
Thank you, Harrison. So Dutch Vander Bruten was a supernatural investigator working for the Psi agency that helped us out in Dump Truck of Doom. And now he's kind of formed his own private practice to be the premier ghost hunter for the wealthy and famous, because they usually suffer from it the most.
Indeed, because they have the most skeletons in the closet, which constitutes the most ghosts.
And the means to pay Dutch. He doesn't do this cheap. He's got real life experience working for Psi.
With ghosts and all kinds of other creepy stuff. Love it. Love that Psi's sneaking back in. Although obviously don't like that Dutch is, it sounds like, going to be right on the tail of Jim and Eleanor. And I think Dutch doesn't waste any time. So that next scene is basically him storming up the apartment, whatever, hallway, with his huge industrial Spectre vacuum. I imagine him also almost looking like John Goodman's character from Arachnophobia, if you remember, where he's the exterminator.
He's got the glasses on.
The hat that's too small. But he's trucking. He can move like a lineman.
Like a 3D printed bunch of plastic ghost gear with stickers on it.
Yes.
Some Dickies and some work boots.
That's it. You see exactly right. So he's mumbling to himself, but he means business. He gets paid a lot, and so he's got a lot of dirty work to do to earn that paycheck. And if he's hunting ghosts, he doesn't care about the law. So I've seen him like kicking Jim's door down basically and turning on this Spectre vacuum and be like, "All right, Jimbo, where's the ghost? You know what I'm here for." And of course, we as the audience know that Jim has no idea Eleanor exists. He's shocked. He's like, "Ghost, you're in the wrong place, man. If you're to evict me, like, I don't know what that vacuum's
Jim totally
gonna do
thinks
to
it's
help."
an eviction.
Right, absolutely. It's like, "All right, do you put the cuffs on me, or are you here to
clean
up?"
He's like trying to buckle up all his paints into his backpack, grab his recycled toilet, toothpaste,
what
water.
happens here?
I gotta save this. I gotta save my stuff.
Right. Please don't flush the toilet. I've already done it once today. Still on the hook for that. But then he maybe quickly has realized this guy's flipping tables over and like firing his vacuum in different directions,
which is just like a heavy as hell rainbow Hoover vacuum that it's just an actual vacuum.
Right, exactly.
It makes the vacuum noise. He's got an attachment on there that has like maybe a circle pit on the end that spins.
Got it.
So a Spectre vacuum. This is going to take up any ghost that's in here.
Spectre vac. Right. Maybe this is the first ghost Dutch has seen in a while. But regardless, Jim is confused. But I think as this happens, Dutch is somewhat successful in that he kind of he flushes Eleanor out. He knocks over the right thing, a canvas stacked in the corner, and Eleanor materializes for a moment, kind of in the shock of what's happening. And so
another ghost power.
There you go. Yeah. So she could do that. But sometimes it happens unexpectedly in like moments
a nervous
of stress
reaction.
or exactly right. You're nervous, stressful, those sorts of things. And so now we have a wild moment of Dutch being like, "Ha, there you are, my pretty," because Dutch is kind of creepy. And Jim being like, "Wait, what? Who? How did you get in here? Who are you?" And then Eleanor shoots through the wall because she's a ghost to get away from Dutch, and Jim's like, "Holy crap." And without kind of thinking and putting too much together, because he doesn't really need to, as Dutch is distracted chasing Eleanor, I'm seeing Jim just kind of bull rush him, knock him right through that wall that he already knocked halfway down with his paint can. And on the other end of it is a dumbwaiter. An old dumbwaiter shaft.
Right. You mentioned dumbwaiter before. I love the tie-in.
There we go. So maybe it claimed Eleanor, although I think that we covered it's the loom. She survived the dumbwaiter, but it's going to take down Dutch for at least a little bit. So he falls down, lands on some old bags of sand or whatever. Of course. And it's just kind of passed out at the bottom of this old dumbwaiter in the middle of Jim's apartment. And so Dutch is incapacitated. And now Jim turns around and sees Eleanor for the first time.
Big reveal.
Huge reveal.
Jim's got a girl in his apartment.
Jim's got a girl.
But
some amazing 80s music is probably playing. I don't know who it's by.
Don't Stop Believing.
It could be. Okay. Perfect. So we've got Don't Stop Believing ripping through the rafters, and this magical moment is happening. And I think in like kind of staring, as Jim is staring at Eleanor's face, he's realizing, and probably would have to verbalize this because it's a movie and not a book, that like holy crap, I felt a presence like in my apartment since that night I knocked down the wall. And he could be just asking her like, was that you? How long have you been here? Are you watching me shower? Are you watching me shower, brush my teeth, pee and poop in the same water? And have you seen me do that?
He's very concerned about his hygiene routine.
You know the order. I got the order right. You know, I know it took me a couple tries, but I know I did it the most sanitary way that I could. Got to start with the shower. But they have this connection, this moment where Jim is realizing that he's number one, not been as alone as he thought. And number two, like this inspiration, this muse, this desire to paint again, and that his life feels like it's getting back together. It wasn't just something in his mind. It wasn't something he made up. It was an actual, not living, but being this, Eleanor, this ghost. And that's like really powerful and exciting to Jim. That like, who wouldn't want to, if you could meet the thing that inspires you, that magical whatever in your brain that makes you go, ooh, I have a fun idea. That was a person and she looked like Michelle Pfeiffer in the 90s.
Doesn't hurt.
I mean, that would be
And I like
amazing.
that it happens here in Act 2. I think if we did this movie well, you would already have felt kind of the bond between Jim and Eleanor, which usually happens in that first sort of like, oops, my coffee spilled and you cleaned it, or whatever that moment is.
Yep.
And now we're getting that moment after, at least from Eleanor's perspective, like there's already been a lot of bonding.
Oh yeah, exactly right. They've been bonding. Yeah, Eleanor definitely been bonding with Jim, and now Jim, it's almost like he downloads all that bonding as well, because he can associate all these good things that happen with him with now Eleanor.
And I think they share, like maybe she ghost writes on paper in the beginning.
Sure.
She asks him questions about, why do you love art? And they end up bonding over art.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that was her background, and we know that's Jim's background. So they're able to kind of understand each other, and their passion is art.
Yes,
and,
absolutely.
Where that usually leads to.
That's right. The two artists with bags of Franzia. Oh, baby, this only goes one place. It's going to be tricky to get there. But yeah, I like that maybe over the next couple days, we get a fun montage of, their bonds growing and them doing things. And you're right, Jim trying to hold her hand, and it goes through her hand on day 2. But day 3, they're able to pass each other bacon, even though she doesn't eat anything because she's a ghost. But Jim needs to eat because he's a human and also starving.
Maybe like for the science, if we want to be accurate, we see that Jim has to eat, and then she takes like a little bit of his life force. And initially it's like 2 fingers kind of touching, and you see a little magic, and then it warms up. And it's like he kind of like breathes into her, like you're shotgunning a blunt, but in this case you're just breathing your life into her, and they just find more subtly intimate ways to trade life force.
And I think we can also steal a scene directly from Ghost, the amazing Patrick Swayze movie, where instead of it being a wheel and pottery, Eleanor and Jim are talking one day about Eleanor. It's like, I haven't painted in so long. I can do it a little bit here and there, but I don't have the strength to do it. And Jim's
he sits down and she's around him.
Well, exactly right. He's like, can you use me?
I'm your hands.
Exactly right. And she wraps her arms around him, and they're painting together, hidden the marionette and her, the puppet master, and he's a bag of Franzia deep and only had cheese and crackers that day, so he's having a ball. And Eleanor is as well, of course. She's getting to kind of paint again, getting to move Jim's hand, but it's that fun, intimate scene of skin on spectral goo, and a lot of magic happening that night, John. Right, a lot of
sounds.
Sounds like a slug in a garden, but to Jim, it sounds magical.
It is magical.
Hard to hear with all the Zydeco going on.
She keeps ghostly reaching over and turning the volume down a little bit.
Absolutely.
And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I've got to turn this up so you can hear it.
I don't know what's going on. Must be the wires, old wires in this. Did you have problems with the electric when you lived here? Can't hear my Zydeco.
She's a ghost, but she's having second thoughts.
That's right. She can still get headaches somehow from interesting, eccentric music.
I like the bonding over art.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that, and I think in this Act 2 kind of gear up, round up what's happening. We're seeing their passion grow, but we're being reminded that she's now being hunted by a former SIA operative that hunts ghosts.
That's right.
And it's kind of like it's building up to this point of, you know we won't be able to stay in this apartment forever. One, you're going to get evicted, Jim.
Exactly.
And two, eventually I'm going to get sucked into that ghost vacuum.
That's right. I'm going to be just emptied out in someone's garbage after I get sucked into this vacuum. Yeah, so great point. The clock is ticking. The honeymoon phase for them, it kind of comes and goes again pretty quickly because the clock is a ticking, and so I think so this is it, John. This feels like the perfect time.
It is, and I think it comes from Eleanor.
Okay,
I think Eleanor is the instigator here.
Oh yes, there's
she's
also
the frat boy.
Some music, some Boston or some Journey happening. That sets the scene. No more Zydeco tonight.
Good music.
I've got something else.
You hear the no wait. You see Eleanor, and she comes out of the bedroom now, and she's wearing her sexiest ghost costume.
Yes.
And she says, Jim, our time together may be cut short, but I want to build something that lasts forever.
Whoa.
Or at least a memory.
There you go.
I've saved up my whole week's worth of touch power.
That's why they kept dropping the coffee I was handing you.
Come lay with me. So, and then immediately goes blank, and you hear the Franzia bag slap, slap, slap. And then it flashes to kind of the normal view again. You realize it's not the Franzia bag.
That's right.
But it's Jim and the ghost, and there's a lot of fun positions that they can try because she's unaffected by gravity.
At all. She can fly down from the ceiling. She can fly through the floor.
I think he even says at one point we hear him say, like, should I just, like, stand inside you? She's like, no, use me.
Use me.
Use me like your canvas.
That's right. Give me your paintbrush. So there's lots of fun innuendos, lots of slapping, lots of flying around, lots of made up science. But yes, they bridge the gap between the mortal coil and beyond, John.
I'm going to take you more than 6 feet deep, Eleanor.
The mortal coitus. That's yeah. And they bang, and they do it.
They bang.
They do it.
They bang good. The bang is really good. It would have been too risky for USA late night TV.
Absolutely. No way.
Like Shannon Tweed back in the day. But it's a good bang. And I think that night, they have their bang and it creates a memory. Eleanor has maybe ulterior motives, and she was clear about them with Jim. It's not like a baby rape thing, but
good point.
But that also gives Jim his kind of, what's the eureka?
Yes, his eureka moment.
And immediately after they're done, normally it's like, okay, I'll go pee, then you go pee, and then we don't have to clean up. She's a ghost.
That's
like,
right.
I guess maybe you have to clean up everything because she's a ghost.
She's a ghost. There may be more to clean up, there may be less. We won't show that. There'll just be a pile of dirty sheets in the corner, and that's a problem for later.
You get it. But Jim gets his eureka.
That's
and
right.
It's the inspiration he's been waiting, hoping comes to him. To finally, we know what the mural is going to look. Well, I don't know.
Sure,
Harrison, you might know, but
I have no idea. I'm not an artist. No, it's something. But the point is, Jim knows. Jim knows what it is. He sits up. And he runs out of the room, and Eleanor goes, "Oh, I know it's been 127 years, but," and he's like, "It's not you. It's the I have the idea." And she's excited, cheers him on, and he heads to the canvas and starts painting through the night. And we kind of do a jump cut to that next morning. The Bookface HQ team comes to pick up Jim's canvas to take it away. Is kind of, they'll use that to judge. That's his proof of concept for the murals on this canvas. They're going to judge off that, and if he wins, then he paints the full-size one in the Bookface HQ. So he did it. He got it in by the deadline.
He got it in all right.
He got it in all right. He got all kinds of things in right at the right time. There's probably a deadline joke in there as well with ghost sex, but yes, all those things happen. And
I just got the deadline part. That was really good. That was really good.
Yeah, those puns, John. I try to sniff them out. And Yeah, so things are great, but I think we all know because the name of this movie and what we talked about in the Fast Five. But there's perhaps a surprise, a pretty big surprise that we're going to learn from their mortal coitus that shows up surprisingly quickly. I think that'll fire us into Act 3.
Ghost, we learned about this when we were science researching for this film.
Yes, that's right.
When a ghost gets pregnant, they don't have to conceive life.
That's right.
And that's like most of the work in regular human conception.
That's right.
Jim turns in, the canvas goes well, we're getting ready for dinner, and they're going to have a celebratory dinner together. Eleanor's going to remind him how she used to cook amatriciana from the old world. She's going to explain how to cook this, and she is pregnant as hell. And it's only been really like 12 hours.
Yes, that's right. And Jim is too elated to maybe even notice that he turned his canvas.
I'm going to be a father, maybe.
Yes, right. And as John said, it's the incubation period for ghost babies is like a day because it takes a while to make life, but we're not making life here. We're making death, but not in a sad way.
Yeah, it's new death.
Ghost. It's new death. It's brand new death.
Death creating death. It's a good circle. It's a full circle. It's a snake eating its tail.
That's right. And it could even, I bet it could even end with, will a water break? Probably not, but like the labor pains. Okay, fine.
Yes.
So we're spectral goo.
We hear a splash, and Eleanor's like, "Oh my god!" And it's his Franzia bag broke.
There we go.
but then you hear like maybe a baby start crying, and then we'll get into Act 3.
I love it. That's how Act 2 ends, with the cries of a baby ghost.
Act 3, the birth of a jewel thief. We'll get to it. So we just finished Act 2, had ghost banging, had ghost painting.
Yes.
And then it had the sounds of a ghost baby being born. Harrison, as this podcast leading childbirth specialist, what's that look like?
Yes. Well, I'm imagining Eleanor gives birth to like a glowing, semi-translucent kind of baby looking thing, but a baby ghost.
Ghost baby.
And I think just like the kind of incubation was very fast, I think the ghost is a baby for not that long. It's starting to kind of, or if it's a baby, it clearly is a little more aware than a human baby when it's first born, which is just like
it's a baby, but it has the full mental capacity of a ghost, which is that of an adult, I think.
Yeah, but it's using baby ghost goo goo gaga noises and things like that, but can also move things like a
full ghost powers.
Full ghost powers.
Yeah, it's day one. It hasn't used any yet. It's got its whole.
And maybe it's stronger, like how baby snakes will inject the full amount of poison when they bite you because they don't know any better.
Yeah.
Baby ghost, super strong and out of control because it doesn't care about its touch meter.
I can use my whole week's touch power on this one touch.
So a little bit of a wild card, and it regenerates immediately because it's also a baby. So baby ghosts are something not to be messed with. And I think what's also really important though here, because it's not just a ghost, it's also a baby. It's a human. It's part human. And I think it's going to be the perfect hybrid. So this baby can shuffle between kind of the physical world and the beyond world whenever it wants. And like all babies, maybe there's even a lot of randomness to it. I think he's very similar to Jack from The Incredibles, where like one minute he's floating in a room, next minute he's on the moon, and then he's on fire, and then he's ice cold and freezing your house. Just a superhuman ghost thing that can go through walls, but also lift a table. And so Jim and Eleanor are thrown right into being new parents with perhaps the most difficult baby that's ever been born. It has the challenges of both the mortal world and the great beyond. Sitting right there in front of you.
You thought parenting was hard? Try it with baby, half ghost baby, and ghost adorable wife, who all of a sudden can't pick the kids up because she's a ghost.
I can't pick anything up. I'm exhausted.
I've used all my touch power. Damn it! I want a divorce. I'll follow you forever.
That's right. That's right. No, you don't. Oh my Lord. And so I think maybe as Jim and Eleanor are kind of caught up in this exciting, oh my God, we're we're new parents.
I can't believe that.
Believe that happened and that worked, and I don't know what to think. And I'm a dad,
half dad,
I guess. Dad, yeah, dad. I don't know what the term would be, but I'm excited and scared, and that's how you feel, whether it's a ghost baby or a real baby. But we have to remember that Amish is in the background being a creepy loser trying to just mess everything up. And so he's still trying to do that. I think we learn at this point that he's also still been intercepting Jim's mail. And so Jim doesn't know that he's won the contest. This is a day or two later after the judging and all that stuff has happened, and they're sleep deprived because they have a baby ghost flying around, throwing pottery around their apartment all night, and nobody's sleeping. They're exhausted. Their judgment is in the toilet, and that's an opportunity for Amish, and they've kind of forgotten temporarily. Jim and Eleanor have that they should be hearing about this competition and who won, and I'm seeing Eleanor maybe kind of snap to it one day of like, Jim,
they get an eviction notice slid under the door, and it snaps Eleanor like, oh my God.
That's right, the mail. We haven't seen mail in days.
Or maybe not, oh my God, Eleanor would probably know. But, oh my whatever.
Oh my Jack. Who's Jack?
You'll find out.
You'll meet him later. But that's good. But so she realizes, oh my gosh, Amish's been stealing our mail again. And she goes and haunts the mailroom of the apartment complex and, catches Amish there trying to steal Jim's mail, of course. And she spooks him out of the room again. So she gets to turn into a scary ghost around Amish, which is fun. Scares him to poop in his pants. Again, which she does all the time, pretty much every day, ghost or not. And Eleanor grabs out of his smelly poop hand a big letter that says like last chance. That's for Jim. He's able to get it, and they're able to learn the truth that Jim has won the competition, but he has to finish the mural by Monday morning. So tomorrow morning, John, he has to have the completed mural done inside Bookface HQ. Otherwise, he forfeits, and it goes to Amish.
So I think one thing I want to include here is the power of Eleanor and her beauty.
Okay.
During that confrontation with Amish.
Oh, okay.
He's pooping. Yep. Not because of Eleanor. He likes the way it feels. And we see her grab the letter using full touch power, just rip the letter from Amish's hand. And Amish stares and sees Eleanor there at full capacity, and she blows him a kiss.
Oh,
and we see Eleanor full beauty, and Amish makes another mess in his pants. And we see his knees crumble, and he just smashes his face on the floor twice.
Yes,
twice. It bounces once and it smashes twice, and we get like Eleanor at her most powerful.
I love it.
And then she brings back Jim. We got to do this. We're probably gonna have to do it all night.
Love it.
They're packing up in the apartment. We got to get all your paints. We got to get down to Bookface right away. I'm not that worried. I'm a ghost. You're gonna have to get on the subway. Let's go. And then you hear.
Oh, the knock.
A knock on the door.
Interesting. This time he decided to knock. And who is it but Dutch? What was his name?
Vanderbruiten?
Vanderbruiten. It's Dutch Vanderbruiten with a black eye and a cast on his leg and a sling in one arm, but he's still got that vacuum, that ghost sucking vacuum. And he pushes the door down as they crack it open to see who it is, ready to rush out themselves to, again, save Jim and baby ghost and Eleanor's future by winning this competition, claiming the prize. Dutch has other plans, pushes Jim down. I've got you now, ghosty. Points the vacuum right at Eleanor. But something happens, John.
I think we see Eleanor's dress start to get pulled towards the vacuum, and she is her dress. Like
she's 90% dressed. Very true. It's supposed to go SAR.
And then I think you hear a wah, and it's baby ghost that comes flying ethereally at first, like morphing into human form baby and just bopping old Dutch Vanderbruten on the head at 90 miles an hour, pure baby meat, right into the side of his head.
Cranium, yes, right into the temple.
Baby Ghost has fun with Dutch Vanderbruten. He knows immediately because he's connected to Mom through ghost mental science power, and he knows that this is a bad guy. He's attacking Mom, and Baby Ghost is like, now I get to play with my powers.
It's on, baby.
He goes inside Dutch Vanderbruten,
good,
and then turns into human baby, and then pops out, giving Dutch Vanderbruten a reverse CPR, which has never been done.
He explodes his heart instead of restarts it. There. So Dutch Vanderbruten
you hear like
dies horrible death.
You hear like a tickle tickle coming from inside of his chest.
And his heart explodes and all the blood fills his body and his legs, and Dutch falls down. Or he flees in terror and doesn't die. We'll let you guys decide, but I love that. The baby ghost just wipes the floor with him. So, yeah, Amisha's final hand here was no match for Baby Ghost. But still, it cost him time. So, maybe Amisha's somewhere rubbing his stinky hands together going, haha, if the Ghost Hunter doesn't stop him, at least
he's going to have to
slow him down. He can't paint that whole thing himself.
I can't remember his voice.
Yeah.
He'll have to paint nope. I did the Italian Amatriciana. I can't get out of it.
I know, we're stuck in Italian.
He'll have to paint the whole canvas in 1 hour. That would be preposterous for anyone that isn't me.
Yes.
Amish Kapoopy Pants. I mean Kaplur. Whoops.
Yes, so he's being a D-bag off screen. But we care about Jim and Baby Ghost and Eleanor, and so
trying to make a black paint all by himself.
Yeah, he's just sitting there going, "Why can't it go darker?
How do I get more black?
How do I find it?" He's losing his mind in the void. But we have Jim and Baby Ghost and Eleanor rushing to Bookface HQ. Right, they get there. The time is running out. It's 2-3 hours to sunrise, and it's just the impossible. And they've got to. But Jim doesn't have to do it alone. He has help. He has Eleanor. He's got Baby Ghost. Hopefully Baby Ghost can kind of listen and stay close enough where I don't have to worry about it. But also he's a ghost. So I don't have to worry too much. But there's a bigger problem as they get to Bookface HQ. It's the middle of the night. The doors are locked, John. I mean, they're standing outside now, seemingly at the finish line, but having to settle for failing. They can't get in. They can't paint. They can't do it. And so it seems like even though they've overcome all this stuff,
Baby Ghost and Eleanor could get in, but they can't bring Jim.
Right.
Because he's a real living human like most of us listening to this podcast.
Yes, I would think. Yes. And so I think what can happen is we can do some movie ghost magic where Baby Ghost and Jim and Eleanor all hold hands and they think happy thoughts. Someone says an incantation. I don't really know what Baby Ghost just hums, and
they just start naming all the types of Franzia wine. Blush, right. Chablis, that's Chardonnay, right. Almost.
Just pretend to be one with the liquid, one with the Franzia. Dematerialize Jim, and so I think Jim is able in this wild moment of holding hands and more Journey or Boston music can play, and they just dematerialize Jim through the door for just a second. That's all they need to use their magic ghost dematerializing power and share it, because the Baby Ghost is the bridge. Eleanor couldn't do it just to Jim, but because Baby Ghost shares both their DNA,
of two worlds.
He's the conduit. That's how we do it.
Of course.
And so is able to dematerialize Jim and get him in to Bookface HQ, and then him and Eleanor go to work painting, staying up all night, working on this mural together.
And I think Baby Ghost might even help a little bit.
Sure, fly in with blobs of paint on his forehead.
Yeah, he's making more of a mess, but it turns into like Eleanor and Jim are able to fix it as she's controlling his hands. Yep, but he's also a really good painter.
Yes,
and so I think I love the scene of how Baby Ghost is able to get him in the building by being the half boy, half ghost.
Yes, indeed,
that he is. He's like Casper, but also a real boy.
A real boy, yes. Casper and Pinocchio all together.
Thank you.
And Big Nose.
Casper and Big Nose. So I'm imagining like they keep painting until they have nothing left. They pass out. Maybe Eleanor doesn't have to sleep. She's a ghost, so she might tidy up a little bit. And then the next scene involves Blark Muckerberg, the CEO of Bookface, walking into the lobby to see his new masterpiece that he's paid $100,000 for.
That's right.
What does he think? Does he like what he sees from our eccentric artist Jim and his ghost family?
I think Blark is blown away, John, and I think he's so moved by this amazing mural that he doubles the prize money.
That's very unlike Blark.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, our Blark is I guess he's a good guy now. He went through a hell of a race where he saw God's face and the devil's face when someone dosed him with LSD and giggle water, and maybe he changed for the better. I don't remember what happened to him, but let's say
Giggle water was a good lesson for CEOs.
Giggle water was amazing. And so Blark doubles the award money, and so of course Jim is ecstatic. He's celebrating, and to everyone looks like he's talking to nobody as he's talking to Eleanor and Baby Ghost, who are invisible to everybody else at this moment, but they're excited, jumping around together, in the lobby of Bookface. And I think we should have Amish arrive just in time to see he completely failed.
Covered in the blackest black paint that he could make. It looks like there's a void where Amish should be, but you can still tell he's there because he smells like poop.
That's right. That's how you know he enters the room. Blark goes, "Oh God, is that Amish?"
That's my train painter guy.
That's right. What are you doing here? You paint for the bathrooms.
And he j'accuses immediately.
Oh yeah.
You can't. You can't pay him to build your masterpiece. He is but a pawn of a ghost. He's got a ghost helping him paint.
Oh my
and he's
God.
just going on and on about this ghost.
Like
and
an insane person.
Like you, the audience, might know that, yes, a ghost did help and bang him, but Blark Muckerberg has no idea and just assumes Amish has totally lost his mind.
Absolutely.
We should have hired him to paint 10 more trains like he asked us to. We just really don't need any more train paintings.
Get this guy out of here. And I think in a fun final farewell, Eleanor can pants Amish, which is disgusting. And if a human did, they'd pass out from the smell, but Eleanor can't smell anything.
Nice ghost power.
Nice ghost powers. Pants his niece, pushes him into the fancy koi pond in the lobby of Bookface, of course.
Poor fish.
That's right. Those poor fish. $100,000 each. They all die immediately. And Amish is on the hook for all those fish.
And Blark Muckerberg says, like, the koi pond looks really cool with the water so dark from Amish's weird paint that he made. We should do this more often. And and then Jim says, like, actually, I can make a paint that's even darker black, and I can do it for half the cost.
Yes.
And it's not toxic to your fish like Amish is. And then we see all the koi fish die.
All the koi fish die. I love that. Awesome. Yes. And so that's great. So Jim has a future opportunity. Amish is kicked out of Bookface once and for all. And Jim, Baby Ghost, and Eleanor, I mean, they have their money. They're free of financial burden. They get to keep the amazing apartment that it's a miracle they afford in the first place. Jim doesn't have to shower, brush his teeth, and poop with the same water anymore.
Eleanor's like, "You're the richest man in New York City," and he's like, "Nah, things have changed a little bit, but I love your naivete."
That's right. I know $100,000 sounds like a lot, even $200,000. It is a lot, but not what you think it is.
We have like 6 months of rent now.
This isn't Rockefeller money like it used to be when you were born. This will get us through Christmas, but a Merry Christmas it will be. And the movie ends with them floating home, or insert your own magical final shot there. Baby Ghost doing loop-de-loops around New York City as Eleanor and Jim hover down the street, getting to enjoy a hot meal and then some hot ghost sex. Well, Baby Ghost hides in the rafters. Okay.
So what about an epilogue for this one? Do you got any? Does Baby Ghost grow up and go to college? Does he need to go to college? He's a ghost. I guess technically it wouldn't really do him very good to have a degree in anything because he is a ghost. He's a boy.
And a boy.
When he wants to be.
And he could kind of
We could remake Porky's.
We could remake Porky's. We could also remake Big Nose, where does this ghost want to become a boy? I think instead of that, I think we can throw him and use his powers for a movie idea we had not too long ago, John.
Okay. Don't put him under the ocean.
Not yet. But what I'm seeing is we jump forward like 4 years. Jim and Eleanor now have toddler ghost, no longer baby ghost. He's a little bit older. And they're teaching him how to kind of harness these abilities. But clearly he's super strong, is the strongest ghost ever, whatever. And he can flip between dimensions. He can go through solid matter. Those are kind of things he's the best at. And Jim says to Eleanor, like, with these powers, we could teach him to do almost anything. And then the screen cuts to black and we see like a tiny glowing hand reach through like a bank vault door and grab a giant jewel. And then the text appears across the screen. Baby ghost will return in the gravity plan.
Harrison really wants to make the gravity plan.
I love that movie. I have a whole vision for it. It's in the vault. Vote for it. Please vote for a gravity plan.
And there you have it. The tagline practically writes itself. Love never dies. She just waits 127 years for true love. And it turns out all she really needed was a struggling artist and a whole lot of real researched science.
That's right. I am so determined to make the Gravity Plan Jewel Thief crossover movie happen. Baby Ghost is amazing.
Make sure to tune in next week when we recap our thoughts on this and build a whole nother Fast Five. Until then,
peace.
Punch.
Give me your baby ghost
juice.
That's a different movie.